So let me tell you this story about Alex, right? Alex is that friend that we all kind of know, right? They're the type who probably pushes themselves to be on top of everything. They really never miss a beat, always look like they're in control. He rarely gets sick, but when he does, he kind of scolds himself for being weak. I shouldn't be sick, he says. And he doesn't give himself any compassion that he probably deserves. So one day Alex goes through a tough time. His boss is sort of hard work and the deadlines keep piling up. And the negative emotions are swirling around him like a storm. And he says to himself, I should be more productive. And he probably feels a little bit lost. He's unable to concentrate. And the thought of self-compassion doesn't even cross his mind because, he just never gave himself permission to feel any self-compassion. He's always expected himself to be a bit robotic, strong, never waver in their strength, to never need help from anyone else. So then life throws a little bit of a spanner at Alex. Maybe a loved one passes away unexpectedly, or maybe a long-term relationship comes to an end. And those are times when self-compassion will be a great relief, but he doesn't afford it to himself. Instead, he suppresses his emotion, telling himself he should move on quickly, be strong, not allow himself to grieve or to feel. Now, I'm sure you can all imagine Alex. You can picture him having to make some sort of decision, one that could change his life, and this huge pressure. And maybe they're running out of time, don't have patience for themselves. And maybe his thoughts are riddled with self-doubt and criticism. But let's pause and think about Alex's situation. Can we all agree that in this instance, he is deserving of self-compassion? Because you are all Alex, and these scenarios are just glimpses into moments in your life as well. Every one of us has a personal Alex inside of us, facing struggles, being impatient with ourselves, looking at our perceived weaknesses and criticizing. The moments that you understand that compassion isn't reserved for a select few, but it's a choice that you can make for yourself. That's when you unlock a really powerful tool for yourself to grow. Because we have to remember, we always have a choice to give ourselves compassion. The same compassion you'd probably offer to a really good friend. Because just like Alex, you deserve that as well. So imagine over the next few weeks, Alex continues to practice a little bit of self-compassion. He begins catching the moments where his inner critic starts to annoy him and shout at him about some of his flaws and his own perceived struggles, telling him what he should and shouldn't do, taunting him, annoying him, wrecking his head. When faced maybe with an overwhelming workload, instead of pushing himself too hard, maybe Alex says to himself, you know what, I'm going to take a break. He says to himself, it's okay to step back, I'm doing my best, that's enough. Maybe in the midst of some difficult emotions he remembers, it's normal to feel that way sometimes. Maybe he says to himself, I'm allowed to feel sad, or frustrated, or anxious. These emotions, they're not making me weak, they make me human. Maybe when they're up against some deadline or limit to make a decision, they say to themselves, I'm not going to rush. Instead, they give themselves the time to contemplate and make choices that are aligned with their innermost important values. They say, I trust myself, I'm going to make the right decision, and even if I stumble, that's okay, I can learn and grow from it. Then, as time goes on, they realize and they become a little bit more resilient. Their relationship with themselves starts to improve, and the once buried seeds of self-compassion are now blossoming into massive big rose bushes. And then one day, while reflecting on his journey, Alex realizes the profound impact of embracing self-compassion for himself. He stopped being his own worst enemy, starting to be his own greatest ally. He learned that self-compassion isn't about accepting mediocrity. It's about recognizing that they're deserving of love, understanding, and a bit of kindness. Now, as you're walking alongside Alex in their self-compassion journey here, can you begin to see this transformation and how it might apply in your life? Can you picture yourself catching the moments of self-criticism, offering yourself the gift of self-compassion instead? Because remember, just like Alex, you can nurture self-compassion, and that'll help you navigate your own experience with resilience and kindness. Can you give yourself today the permission that you deserve self-compassion? Well,